Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monette and this is my channel Evolve with Monette. I'm a professional intuitive empath and I'm so happy to share some energy with you today. We're going to jump right into it. Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star. That's what you're here for. Let's talk about it. We have recently watched something happen that none of us really thought would ever happen, which is the beginning of the bringing down of a Titan. And the Titan that I speak of is none other than one Jeffree Star. But Jeffree Star's image was revamped and recalibrated by Shane Dawson's vigilant and persistent efforts to scrub and clean his image. Now, first I want to talk about why these two are even on a soul path right now. Jeffree Star is a Scorpio sun, and Shane Dawson is a Cancer sun. July 19th, I do believe, for Shane Dawson. Now, what I want you to understand is Scorpio and Cancer are very compatible. So that's why a lot of us resonated as some of us watched the series and the various things happening, and we thought, this friendship reads as authentic. In a world where we've watched Jeffree Star snack, eat, and consume every single one of his friends, this is the first time we thought Shane just may escape. He just may escape the Jeffree Star curse, okay? Which is anything that Jeffree touches either makes a ridiculous amount of money or it crumbles. Now that's because Jeffree is a Scorpio. Scorpio energy. This energy is intense, masterful. Masterful. Do you not feel like you're watching a mastermind when you watch Jeffree wiggle his way out of every single accountability and every single thing? He's a powerful friend to have, but he trusts no one, and that's his Scorpio energy. He is powerful, but he is elusive, and he is also usually unscathed. The Teflon Don. It's because he's magnetically charming. Some of us have experienced it. Some of us have seen past the facade, but also secretive and possessive. This is the energy of Scorpio, okay? So you couple that with Shane, who is a nurturer. This is why Shane has been seen as a YouTube empath, okay? Because he is a nurturer naturally. He's a Cancer. So Cancer, this energy is emotional. This energy is sensitive, loving, and caring, and it may concern family, mother, and child. This is Shane. Does that not seem like what Shane's done? Look at these angel wings. Has Shane not kind of gotten this rap that he's this like grandpa on YouTube because he's 31 or 32? And that he's protecting everybody and he's rehabbing everybody and being loving. You see the heart up here, like a mother would be. But what's the reality of Shane? We're starting to see the facade. And here's my question. What came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Like, that's something that I wonder about. Shane, Cancers are renowned for being snippy, kind of bitey, and we see that with a lot of Shane's past work that's being called under scrutiny right now. They can be unapologetic, they can be shocking. Two people that you may be familiar with, Wendy Williams and Charlemagne the God, are both Cancer sons. So these are people that talk for a living and entertain us, but they do it by being shocking. Wendy was actually described as a shock jock, and Charlemagne also revamping his image now, but also seen as a shock jock. He was a protege of Wendy Williams, and Wendy Williams, by way of the FCC and life, was a protege of Howard Stern. And if I'm not mistaken, do I want to say that Howard's a Cancer as well? I could be wrong there. I even read Private Parts, guys, years ago. Anyway, back to the story at hand. Here's the deal with Shane and Jeffree. If you pull, I once had a pastor give me this analogy. If you stand on a chair and I try to pull you up on the chair, I may very well get you up here. But if I am on the chair standing and you want to pull me off the chair, it's going to be much easier. Shane went in and approached, this is my intuitive empath download and take, and I'm going to back it up with a couple of facts here regarding Saturn and Cancer as to why this is all blowing up. Shane went in thinking that he could rehab and do for Jeffree what he's done for other people. Shane's interest, primarily narcissistic. Not that he is a narcissist, but what I'm saying is Shane loves what he does, and he had a healthy, like, I'm going to help people, I'm going to move forward, okay? I'm going to revamp them. He went and dealt with Graveyard Girl and Tana and all of these people, right, guys? I'm not 20, y'all, so I cannot keep up with everybody's names. But what I will say is we watched him go strategically through. It helped to build his career. That's where I say that there was a healthy dose of narcissism there. He got something from it. We all have narcissism tendencies, guys. So he was self-involved, and it was superficial. We saw him work with Eugenia Cooney. A lot of us felt like he should have dove deeper regarding Eugenia Cooney and that whole situation. But what he does is he makes people comfortable with that Cancer nurturing energy. He feels like a loving hug. He went into Jeffree, but a Scorpio is, listen, guys, I have personally just realized the formidable lesson of a Scorpio, especially in lower vibration. It was such a powerful lesson for me that I was like, abandon ship. Not because the Scorpio was going to win, but because the Scorpio will always self-destruct itself. Because they're so, if you're not in a high vibration, do not be triggered if you're a Scorpio watching. There are beautiful Scorpio energies, but if you're not in high vibration, Scorpios never know when enough is enough. They just they don't know when to quit, and it causes their own demise. And that's really what happens here. So this is what happened. What happened? This is my just download speculation, allegedly, my thoughts and opinions, allegedly on this whole video, because I don't have Jeffree Star money to fight with Jeffree Star. Okay, so here's the deal. Allegedly, he went in and Jeffree did what he did. He spun that magnetic charm and he said to him, I can show you the world. Except he's like, I can give you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Shane Dawson, now when did you just let your heart soar? He looked over at Shane Dawson's boyfriend, Rylan, who is very acquisitory. I haven't checked into his sign, but he's a big he's very about stuff. Very weird dynamic there. Anyway, some predictions about that relationship I'll do in another video. What I will say is, Shane looked at his man. He looked at Jeffree. Jeffree said, come in. Come on in. And I will do everything, because he knew he finally had met, and true and well, I really do believe that they are connected for a reason. It's because they're both the same people. We can all look at Shane and say he was better initially, right? We all have that perception that he's this loving Cancer nurturer, right? But the truth of the matter is that he and Jeffree are simpatico. Same manipulation, different veneer. Jeffree doesn't pretend to be anything other than what he is. Terrible. I'm a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Jeffree is who Jeffree is. But Shane, this is why everybody's losing their mind, because we expect different from Shane, because this is how Shane presents, but Shane is this, okay? He went in, he helped orchestrate it. We all watched Tati's video. If you didn't, go check it out. If it's still up, you know, these people pull it down quick. He went in, according to what Tati said, allegedly, his opinion and her opinion, and he orchestrated and manipulated. And because we presume that he is trusting, loving, and nurturing, she did not expect that what she was getting was the puppet master in the background saying, this is specifically how we're going to bring down our competition. Now, here's the part about Saturn. Sorry, guys, it took 7 minutes and 51 seconds to get you guys caught up. Here's what happens with Saturn. In the last 2 years, Saturn has been watching everybody. We have cycles with Saturn that happen all the time. We're in a retrograde right now. I have another video up that goes through all of our signs and what to expect. I'll be putting up some more Saturn information here shortly. Here's what you need to understand. If you have been not behaving well, or if you've not been doing good things, the last 2 years for you are going to catch up with you right now. Right about now, the funk's your brother. Right about now, the trouble's your sister. Right about now, the drama's your cousin. Right about now, the poverty's your uncle. If you tried people in this past 2 years, y'all, it's not going the way you think. It's just not going to go the way you think. Saturn is slapping you in the face to let you know you have to adjust. Now, here's the magic of Saturn. It doesn't need anybody's permission. Saturn is ruled by the planets. Saturn is ruled, by Capricorn. Capricorn, long lessons. Capricorn, moving up that mountain, slow and steady wins the race. Saturn doesn't care about how much this bothers you or how long it takes. If you thought you got away with murder in the last 2 years with Saturn, you got away with nothing. You got away away with nothing because the universe sees all. Saturn and karma work together. Saturn is ruled, or karma is ruled by Saturn, okay? Or Saturn's ruled by karma, excuse me. Who's on first? The point is that Saturn and karma are like this. They're simpatico. That's their bestie, okay? That's their best friend in real life. And what happens is, if you get into a situation and you are ruled by that, you will get lost. So this is just a little overview for those of you who are interested. If you've had some stuff going on that's been shady McShadingston in your life in the last couple of years, and you're like, no one's gonna know, when am I ever gonna be vindicated? This doesn't seem fair. Y'all, hit a namaste on them. Hit a namaste on them. Pray for them. Oh my gosh, Jay-Z says it so good in with him with Movado. I'm on the rock. He says, Lord Jesus, please be my savior. Lord knows I got a whole lot of haters, but I dust them off. I dust them off. And he says, if you see the bear, pray for the bear. Don't pray for me in a fight, because I know what I have done right. He doesn't say that part, but that's the part I add, but he does say pray for the bear. What I want you to understand is Saturn. Saturn is the thing that you need to pray for your enemy. Listen, the thing that comes to me with this is that praying for your enemy, even if you don't want to, they might need an extra prayer. You might need to light a candle for them, because a novena, because what I'm telling you is this stuff is gonna take them out of themselves. And with Jeffree and Mr. Shane Dawson, Saturn got their ass, okay? That is what's happening right now. Let me get into it. It's so good, guys. It's so good. So Saturn and Cancer, let's start with Mr. Shane. People with Saturn and Cancer have strong connections to their families and their homes. So we see that Shane is a bit of a recluse. Some might even say he has agoraphobia, allegedly, but he does not. They tend to be highly intuitive about human needs. This is why he's so good at being the faux therapist to YouTubers, because his sociopathy and their sociopathy, same. In order to sit behind this camera, there is a level of understanding that you feel self-important. A lot of YouTubers say this, so please do not be alarmed. But Shane, he's good, yeah? He's real good. And he's good because there's a natural gift that he has. I'm not going to take away from what he has. We've all been moved by Shane. We watched the documentaries. We've been influenced. Shane has that natural gift because of his Cancer energy. So they have a great remembrance ability. Their taking care instincts could lead them into a career in the culinary world, hospitality, or nursing. Has Shane not been nursing back the dying careers of people that other YouTubers and other people didn't want to touch? Indeed, he has. Now, the negative aspect, because there's always a positive and negative. Shadow and light is something I've been working with a lot this year. The negative aspect, addiction of anything leads to some bad anyhow. Same with people that fall into this category. Saturn in Cancer leads to the person being more and more sensitive. Who saw the live that he did during Tati's video where he looked like Onision? Sorry, guys. I mean, we got to call a thing a thing. Who saw the live where he looked like Onision having a full meltdown? I was shocked. I thought, he's not having any self-awareness right now. He doesn't have any good people in his camp right now. Everybody's emotional, and we're in a Mercury retrograde and a Venus retrograde. So communication is terrible. That was so not a good look for him, especially on the heels of the allegations that are mounting. And Jada Pinkett, now she's got her own hot water, another video coming up. Jada Pinkett and the situation with Willow. I mean, why would you get on there and act unhinged that way? It's because he had no control. He was deep in his emotions. He is overcorrected. Saturn's getting him because of bad behavior. So if you want to know if Shane and Jeffree did what Tati said, look at what's happening in their life right now to see the answer. It's a yes, dog. It's a yes, homie. It's a yes for me, dog, as Randy would say. All right, so let's go back into this. So they are more and more sensitive. They also emotionally block out people from their lives. So he's about to shut down and go super Scion hermit mode because he's freaked out right now about the crushing attention he got. You know who else got crushing attention in the last 2 years because of his actions, manipulations, and tactics with Jeffree behind the scenes? Not Shane Dawson. Excuse me, James Charles. Do you see what happened? They did something negative, thinking they could get away with it. That man really had to go through that pain. That's something else I want you to know. If you have been looking at somebody in your past feeling pain and getting away with murder, Saturn is here. Saturn is karma. I have been through a situation myself in the past 2 years that was the most painful situation I've ever been in my life. And when this year wrapped into it and I finally got a handle on it, my angels were like, girl, just sit back. You don't have to do a thing, because they were so treacherous. They're getting their just due. That's why pay attention to how you treat people. So let's see what else happens here with him. So he may emotionally block out people from their lives, which he will do. He will show up as super insecure. Watch what we're saying here. Look how Saturn's getting him. Saturn is beating him down the road. Hypersensitive, overly dependent on who? Jeffree Star. What should I do next, Jeffree? How do I handle this, Jeffree? Jeffree, will you support me? Just as of a couple minutes ago, an hour ago, Jeffree just restocked his hoodie, killer merch, just restocked Shane Dawson's hoodie as I was finishing up my research for this show. That is him reaching out. Well, Jeffree, can you save me? I mean, I saved you. Jeffree comes in, oh, sure, I'll give you something paltry, but Jeffree has kept his mouth shut, because Scorpios that are not evolved are freaking the devil, y'all. The Diablo. All right, let's take a look at this. Hypersensitive, self-protective, withdrawn, fear of abandonment. That is Shane's worst fear. That is stuff he's talked about with us. That's stuff he shared, stuff that he has shared regarding his relationship with his father and various things like that. So withdrawn, fear of abandonment, fear of intimacy, fear of expressing one's feelings or emotional needs, blocks to giving and receiving love. Shane Dawson will find himself probably in a fetal position, curled up, when this year is over, because people, the favor that he had, you know, they're liking it to Icarus, right? When Icarus flew too close to the sun, and then everybody thought, oh, too close to the sun, and now we'll take back all that adoration, all that love, all those accolades. You have to be careful how you manage people. The public is fickle. We know we're fickle. But in this case, real treachery, manipulation, and the takedown of another human happened. And it happened because it was orchestrated by Jeffree. And we're moving on to him next. Y'all, don't think I forgot about Jeffree's trifling self. Jeffree is the worst, y'all. But he's a mastermind. He's super smart, okay? Not all lower vibrational Scorpios are as smart as Jeffree. Jeffree is very intelligent. Jeffree didn't have anybody Kylie's money. What Jeffree did, he hustled and manipulated to get. But he got it fair and square. I will say that about Jeffree. Well, did he get it fair and square if he was crushing everybody's career? That is debatable. Leave your comments below. People with Saturn and Scorpio, first a positive, everybody gets a fair shot here. People with Saturn and Scorpio are the ones who are transceivers of the dead and the disease. That's why Jeffree's so comfortable canceling everybody, because he operates out of a death mentality. In the tarot, the card that is associated with the card that is associated, this is the card actually associated with Cancer, so I meant to show that to you guys. So this is the Chariot. This is associated, the major arcana, with Cancer. It's about the exoskeleton and protection, but right now it's a choice between good and evil, and we know what choice Shane made, didn't we? He chose money. He chose that friendship, which he was very drawn to. I don't doubt that he had a real inclination to be around Jeffree. It was like meeting a soulmate. I truly believe that they may be that. But soulmates will bring you to your knees in one way or another. Okay? That's one thing. No fantasy here, guys. I just killed all the fantasy. Haters killed the radio star, y'all. Or was it videos killed the radio star? I have no fantasy for you. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'm trying to find the death card. I have some videos coming up here regarding Scorpio energy, and so I will be going in depth into tarot and talking about it. Let me see if I can find the death card. Where are you? Where are you? Said no one ever. Okay, so this one is actually really beautiful and pleasant, but this is death and rebirth, okay? This is death and rebirth. The number associated with it is 13, which breaks down to 4. 4 deals with work situations. Jeffree, we would say, is a consummate kind of workaholic, very sure about what he wants to do with that, and that's what makes him good. But this is transformation, baby. This is what Scorpio energy, when it's balanced, this is the good of Scorpio energy, looking through people and into another dimension. That is the magic of Scorpio energy. But when it's unbalanced, you see this stalker creepiness? Look at him staring at you. Are you scared? I'm scared. That's Jeffree. Jeffree is always stalking everybody. When Tati said, allegedly, that he has like rosters of information on people, have no doubt Jeffree will air everybody out. Let's get back into it, okay? So let's see here. Saturn and Scorpio are the ones that are transceivers of the dead and diseased. They have many positive aspects. For example, intense focus. That's Jeffree all day. Intense focus. Truly ambitious. Secretiveness can be a trap for you, though, if you have a Scorpio in Saturn. Your career may involve medicine or helping people through personal crisis. Living in the illusionary world can lead to misguiding secretive natures. This is a negative aspect, okay? Secretive nature can become harmful too. Saturn and Scorpio can be a powerful influence. The influence will always make you restrict transformation, changes, and growth. You will find it very difficult to accept changes in your life, and any change will be stressful for you, bringing in anxiety, worry. Saturn and Scorpio misuses one's power. If that's not Jeffree, I don't know what is. Jeffree is on the YouTube spectrum, up there with the Pauls of misuse of power, but Jeffree's actually powerful. Those guys are like bros. Jeffree, they're smart. They've made some decisions that have made them a lot of money. Jeffree is on a different level. I'm just telling you, he's not a genius level, but his machinations are, he is so invested into ending everybody because he's comfortable with death. Death rules sexuality. I mean, death. Scorpio rules death, sexuality, and transformation. So they can go into deep, dark places. They rule addiction and possession. Y'all, who knew I'd be a Scorpio expert? I figured it out. Okay, so here's the thing. So any changes will be stressful. They misuse their power. They can be controlling. Can we, every time I say a trait that you think Jeffree Star has, take a drink. They can be controlling, manipulative, ruthless, unforgiving, ruthless. I'm going to read that again. Unforgiving. They have a fear of intimacy and a lack of trust. I hope that there are some good Scorpios down there that can tell me why we shouldn't round everybody up that's a Scorpio. I don't know. But the lower vibrational ones, I think we should definitely round up. Or do they get a chance to evolve too? I guess it's kind of hypocritical of me. I'll have to check my own privilege there. We all get a chance to evolve. I don't have patience for everybody. In any case, though, back to Scorpio and Cancer, Shane and Jeffree. This is why you're about to watch this slow rolling, unraveling of legacies. Scorpio Jeffree is able to weather this because he is built for drama, trauma, and dying and regeneration. Look at all the looks Jeffree's had throughout the years and how much he's revamped himself. Look at Shane. The only thing that's changed with Shane is normal fluctuations of body size, right? And Shane doesn't like go out of his way to revamp himself. This is going to be particularly hard on Shane. Jeffree will be fine. Everybody will hate him. They'll forget about it. Boom. And he's back. Scorpio energy. Another famous Scorpio that you've watched do a lot of wild, inappropriate misuse of power stuff. P. Diddy Sean Puffy Diddy Combs, whatever his name is today, he is a Scorpio. If you look at his relationships with people, he's never faithful. Ever, 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 never. Every woman he's ever been with talks about it. He always has like wives and sister wives and craziness. And he's from allegedly, a lot of reports show him as being abusive. There was even an incident where he went in and slammed a weight down on one of his son's coaches. So that's like out there. That's not alleged. That happened. He was involved in the shooting that happened with Shine, where Shine's still in prison, even though he wasn't involved allegedly, and Shine kind of allegedly took the rap. He was involved with Big Papa, who I happen to love. We know that he did not pull that trigger. We still don't know who technically pulled that. But what I want you to see is that look at all the drama that he was involved in. Don't you think for 1 second that his lower vibrational Scorpio self was not involved and did not orchestrate some of those things to not fall back on him? That's what Jeffree Star's magic is he has a way of getting out unscathed. But Saturn lets no one get unscathed or escape unscathed. Saturn is holding Jeffree responsible and accountable, and it's going to affect him and his livelihood. Maybe not drastically. He's a multi-millionaire. But for Shane Dawson, who just got a little taste of the devil's pie and loved that money and loved the power. Shane said it in his documentary. I feel like I'm in the mafia. When Jeffree had them all put on that uniform, the way that Scorpio operates is they isolate to conquer. He needed Shane by himself. In the beginning, he didn't even allow Ryland there. Ryland hated that. This is my empath download. Ryland hated being excluded because all Rylan wants is money. And so he was so frustrated that he couldn't be there. You could see the jealousy. And I know that there was conversations had behind closed doors with him being like, when are you going to have me come? Because all Rylan cares about is access. Anyway, another story, another video. What I will tell you here is that Jeffree, and now that's another thing too, just a little quick aside, if you're interested in that little soap opera they have there, Jeffree doesn't like Rylan. He wants Shane by himself. He wants Shane to be his friend. Jeffree does not like Rylan. He's not into it. He's not trying to make that be a thing. He's actually just waiting for the second to be like, yeah, I always never liked him and you should get rid of him. And he will. Watch what I say. Sometime within the next 2 years or so, if these two stay friends and this doesn't blow them apart, which I don't think that it will. I think that he's going to stick by Jeffree, okay? He has no choice. When you get into the mafia, you've signed your life away. He's in the mafia, so now he's with him. I promise you Rylan won't last. Just saying. Just that's a little prediction, a little freebie there. But in any case, in the meantime, in between time, Saturn is going to be holding Jeffree and Shane accountable for being the master manipulators that they are and were. Maybe Shane wasn't as good before, but he sure as hell got good as soon as he got next to one Mr. Crazy, secretive, possessive, manipulative, determined, stalking, account keeping, amassing a blackmail, scorpionic, low vibrational, not evolved Jeffree racist star. That's what I'm saying. I had to say it. I had to say all the things. Both of them have blackface. Both of them have problematic issues. Both of them love each other. Birds of a feather. Didn't our moms teach us that? Birds of a feather do flock together. Don't let someone tell you that they're not a thing when their lover or their best friend is that thing. Come on now. Anyway, watch Saturn do its work and take stock of your life. Look back at your life. Were you terrible in the last couple of years, or were you working hard? Were you diligent? Were you patient? Were you loving? Whatever you were. Fill in the blank. If you were good, you're on the nice list, guys, and Saturn will take it super easy on you. Go check out the video about how it will affect your sign specifically. But if you were bad, yeah, nowhere to run to, baby. Nowhere to hide. I love it. Nowhere to run to. Live integrally, guys, and you don't have to worry about Saturn coming in and kicking your behind. Love you so much. Thank you for sharing energy with me today. I want you to come back. Please comment below. It's my favorite thing ever to talk to you guys, and we'll continue to evolve together.